The day of my accident, it was November 6, 2010 of last year, coming up on almost a full year here. I had come out on, it was a Saturday, to help on my dad and uncle's farm. We were probably 80% done with our corn crop, but at the end of October, there was a storm that came through, and which brought a lot of heavy damaging winds and quite a bit of rain. And so there were some issues that we had to struggle through to get through the rest of harvest. What we were kind of struggling through that day was having a bunch of corn stalks piling up on the header of the combine. And periodically throughout the day, my dad had to get out and clear out these corn stalks, and I quickly found out I had to do the same. Later that afternoon, same thing happened. The corn stalks piled up, and I stepped out of the combine, and I guess basically what had happened was my leg got caught in a moving part, and basically everything below my knee was destroyed. They got me into the OR, and about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I was in the waiting room, and realized after I was coming out of anesthesia they had to amputate above my knee. It was something that happened in the blink of an eye, and forever my life has been changed because of it. The individuals I was working with had continued to talk about a computerized leg. And this computerized leg was called a C leg. It's made by a company called Hoedl. And you know, it was kind of the top of the line prosthetic leg for an above the knee amputee. And you know, early on in the process, I was, you know, crossing my fingers I was going to be able to receive this leg, because it sounded, you know, phenomenal what it could do for an amputee. I received the leg in late part of February, early part of March, sometime in there, and it was almost as if I put it on and just started walking. It was that smooth of a transition to kind of getting back to normal. So I was extremely thankful for everyone who allowed me to receive that leg. It's kind of a blessing.
We started talking, different friends and family and relatives started talking about, you know, what do we do? Should we do a benefit? Is this right? Is that wrong? Different people had different opinions, so we would start talking a little bit, but bottom line is we decided it had to be Ryan's decision. It had to be, you know, did Ryan want it? And in talking at first, Ryan, that wasn't, I don't think, what he wanted. But then we found out, after talking to the doctors, and he found out that probably in his lifetime he was going to spend close to $500,000 on legs and sockets. And I think, you know, when you think about it, that's what young people hope to use to buy a home and maybe send their kids through college, and he was looking at that kind of bill just to maintain a lifestyle. I mean, here's a young guy, he wants to be on his own. He had just graduated from college, was starting his first job. He wanted to, who wouldn't, you know, be able to take care of themselves and be independent. I think when Ryan got the numbers in his head, then he was a little more okay with the idea of doing a benefit. None of us had any experience in doing a benefit. We thought, okay, now where do we start? So we started making some calls and talking to some people that had done benefits, and that's when we found out about Dakota Medical Foundation. And I went online and did some research to find out what that was all about. Talked to Ryan about it.
I thought it was outstanding that Lend-A-Hand chose an individual like myself to provide matching funds for.
It was such a group effort, and it was everybody coming together and doing what they wanted to do for Ryan. People were just so amazing, and I think part of it is we come from, you know, the farming community is more than just a farming community. It seems like it's almost like a big family, even though it spanned Richland County, Cass County, and Wilkin County.
I mean, this is people just pouring out their hearts in form of money to help Ryan.
It was unbelievable. There was probably 600 people that showed up that night for the benefit, and it was it was one of probably the best nights I've had all year.
In a small way, a whole bunch of people were able to help Ryan kind of move on to his, as far as his life goes, and take a little pressure off financially.
To me, it was such a tribute to Ryan, the kind of guy he is, because that's who they were there for. They were there to not just give money to Ryan, but to show their support.